Concussions in professional sports are almost a given, especially in a contact sport such as football. Another one where they probably have lots of concussions would be like boxing, MMA, things along those natures. But today we're focusing on football. In the 2023 NFL season, 219 concussions were reported across preseason, regular season games, and practices. When you stop to realize that there are almost 1,700 players on active rosters in the NFL, 219 concussions doesn't really seem that bad if you ask me. Especially when you take into account the safety measures that the league's trying to take now with implementing the guardian cap and allowing players to wear them in games. And if you've ever played a sport, there's a good chance that you yourself have gotten a concussion. There's a good chance you've had one. And there's an even better chance that you've gotten one and you have no idea. Now, one concussion usually isn't a big deal. If it doesn't seem that bad, it's probably not that bad. But the problem is repeated concussions, especially since it's estimated that up to 50% of concussions go undiagnosed. So why am I acting like a doctor right now? That's probably the question everybody's wondering. Well, a popular topic of discussion right now in the NFL is Tua Tagovailoa. And unfortunately, it's not about his play on the field. The debate about him is should he consider retirement due to the fact that he's had 4 documented concussions now in his early NFL career. And just for a timeline, I'm going to go over those real quick and show clips. 2022 week 3 against the Buffalo Bills.
Suffered some type of an injury on this play. We have Teddy Bridgewater in the game right now. Tagovailoa, oh boy, getting up. Oh my goodness, that's an awful sight to see. They will take him to the...
Tua was on the run, threw a pass to Jalen Waddle. Matt Milano gave him a hand to the chest, you know. I don't think it's excessive. It wasn't like he picked him up and slammed him, just a hand to the chest. Tua falls backwards, smacks his head off the turf. Nobody thinks nothing of it. Routine play. He gets up, as you guys saw in the clip, he starts to run, and he can't. He literally falls to the ground. He can't go in a straight line. He can barely stand underneath his own body weight. Comes out of the game. Deem it a back injury, which granted, spinal injuries can cause balance and issues like that. But let's move on to the next one, and then I'll jump back to this one and kind of give my opinion on it. So 2022 week 4, 5 days later, Tua was back out on the field because obviously he wasn't in concussion protocol because he had a back injury, you know, nothing wrong with his head.
Rolling left with the grain, and down he goes. Slung down at his own 48-yard line. Josh Tupu. And
So as you saw in that clip, he hits the ground and he goes into, I believe they call it the fencing position. After the research I did, it's the fencing position. And that's just hard to watch, especially when you think that he had a concussion 5 days before that. Well, you could believe he had a concussion. I believe he had a concussion. So a concussion 5 days before that, another concussion, a little bit of knowledge for you, that's second impact syndrome. Basically, that's where you haven't fully recovered from your first concussion, and then you get another concussion. And that's not something you want to mess around with. It can cause to brain swelling, severe disability, and sometimes it's fatal. Like, your brain swells so much and you will die. So it's scary to think that he was back out there 5 days later and took another shot to the head like that. Week 16 of 2022, I'm sure you guessed it at this point, another concussion for Tua.
Who's got a lot of time to throw. He just dumps it off to Durham Smythe. And Smythe with a gain of 7. A lot of time to throw. He just...
3 in 1 season. Tua scrambling out of the pocket against my Packers. Boom, on the run. Routine throw. Legs get wrapped up. And he turns and falls and on the back of his head, another concussion. I don't know. Like, I'm not understanding at this point with him. What I was thinking at this point in time was, did he just not know how to fall? Granted, falling gracefully is kind of a skill. It's kind of a skill. You want to kill the impact with... Oh, I just shook the whole camera. You want to kill the impact before your head gets there. At least that's what I've been taught. You want to kill the impact usually with some parts of your arm. You want to take most of the momentum out. Your head's going to hit the ground. Your head's going to hit the ground, but you want to kill most of the momentum and absorb most of the shock. I believe that's what it is. Look, I'm not a doctor. I'm just kind of speaking my mind. So, like I said, 3 concussions, 1 season. Now, you could say that's unfortunate luck, or you could say there could be something more serious going on here, like Tua is prone to concussions. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I believe it's genetic and repeated concussions that cause that. And a great example of that could be when they played the Bills this season. And this was, oh my God. Let me tell you, this might have been the most terrifying play I've ever watched as a fan. Damar Hamlin, everybody knows Damar, died on the field. Chest, hitting the chest, heart stopped. Okay. Tua, head problems. Head-on collision into the chest of Damar Hamlin. I thought, holy shit, we got a double homicide. Luckily, Damar didn't die. He was fine. Tua has a concussion, and he goes into the fencing position again. Now, he's worked his whole life to do what he does. You got to stop and think about at what cost. So here we are now. 3 confirmed concussions. I would say 4 because I don't believe that was a back injury. And in reality, we have no idea how many concussions he's really had. Like I said earlier, 50%, it's estimated, estimated, let me get my facts straight, that up to 50% of concussions go undiagnosed. So he's had at least 3, I say 4, because I believe that back injury was a concussion. So how many has he really had? How many did he have growing up? How many did he have in college? I believe there was 1 documented in college. Now, I'm not here to say Tua needs to retire. Because who the fuck am I to tell another grown man what to do with his life? That's not the point of this at all. I just want to give my input. I want to give my input. Because Tua is 26 years old, 2 children, and a wife. His rookie contract, $30 million. $30 million. His recent signing bonus, 42. Now, I don't know if that's guaranteed. I don't know the whole ins and outs of contracts of that. I mean, if that signing bonus was guaranteed, that's around $72 million so far from playing in the league. Now, I know he has a potential to make like, I think his contract's 212. So like 167 more million dollars. Something like that. So I've seen people say he has 167 million reasons to keep playing. And I understand that. But I think he has 3 reasons at least to stop and think about it. Those 3 reasons. His wife and his 2 children. Look, I just had my first son this year, and I couldn't imagine knowing that there's a possibility that if I get hit in the head one more time, I might wake up, not be able to talk. It's a possibility. I might look around and not recognize who my son is. That's some scary stuff. So I guess what I would say is we need to give him time. I know based off everything I said, give him time sounds crazy, but we need to give him time to consider it. After this season, I think he should consider what he wants to do. I'm not saying he should retire. He should be wearing a guardian cap at the very least. You can tell, but they're not terrible. He should be wearing a guardian cap the very least, but it's scary stuff, man. Let me know what you guys would do if you were into a situation, or what you even think about the whole situation in general. And also give me some feedback on this style of video. This is my first time doing this. Hopefully it turned out all right. And yeah, I'll be out with another video. These take me a little bit longer to do, but there'll be another video coming soon. We're going to stay on the topic of sports for now. If we want to branch out and cover more styles of videos, we can do that over time. But thank you guys for the support, and we'll see you in the next video.